Welcome, friends! It is I, Scarf, and it's time for the vlog, and I'm going to start trying to do it with a camera so I can get more comfortable with the camera. Like, we were doing that before, but then we stopped doing the videos that did that, so we're doing it again. The unboxings are different. Like, it's not really me being comfortable with a camera, it's me being comfortable unboxing in a camera. Coming up, we have more unboxings. The Wii box is here to do eventually, and the gaming box. Like, we want to spread them out a little bit, so we'll see when those actually come out. So we got those boxes to unbox. The Yum Yum box as well. We got that one, so we're going to do that. It's Brazilian snack, so that should be a lot of fun. And then next month will be the next Yum Yum box, and we'll see how that develops. Let's talk about the channel. So, Yum Yum boxes. We're going to get 2 Yum Yum boxes, and if we get 3... what's the word here? If we get 3 people who subscribe to Yum Yum through our affiliate link, then we keep getting these boxes. That's what's going to happen there. And we get a little bit of the money as well, and that's if it takes off. If it doesn't take off, then, well, at least we did Yum Yum boxes for 2 months, and that was kind of a cool experiment. And we'll see about that. As far as the loot crates go, we're always going to do at least one a month. We will either do the core box or the gaming box, most likely. If anyone wants to see the other boxes, I think we have to just rely on donation for that. If you guys want to see the anime box, you got to donate for that, or whichever box we don't do out of the other 2, donate. Like, that's the only way we can do that, because we don't have a lot of money for it. The loot crates are kind of cheap, which is a nice value, but at the same time, you got to have money in the first place. We ain't got that much money, unfortunately. Someday in the future, yeah, but not yet. That's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Other things to talk about, let's see here. Overwatch. Overwatch is very fun. Patch came out. Eichenwald is fun. We're going to have a bunch of videos for Eichenwald coming up in the future, because that map is pretty cool. I like it. It's a bit... it's partially map awareness, and I feel like Eichenwald really... relies on you understanding how heroes work, because I'm just seeing certain heroes fight with impunity on the map because no one's picking their counters. And it's a little frustrating, but it's like only the second day of people actually playing the map, so I should be a bit lenient, but it is also frustrating, unfortunately. But the map is interesting because there's a lot of like little ledges, and there's the bridges and everything, so there's a lot of vertical fighting going on, and what you'll notice is, this is something that people talk about, is people have a harder time shooting up. This is something I've noticed as well, is it's harder to get killed when you're on higher ground. And because of that, and because Eichenwald's like that, it makes it very difficult for the attacking team to deal with the defending team, I feel. And so it's an interesting advantage to defense. And you see that a lot with the choke point. With the gate, like that spot, like the bridge gate at the start, there's a lot of stoppage right there. I've just seen so many teams just fail right there. There's counters to it, but it doesn't happen, which is weird. And so it's odd. I think after we do all the hero guides, which is going to take like a couple more months, Symmetra is next. She'll come out Monday. We'll probably do map specific. I feel like map specific might be the next thing to talk about. Just like, here is Eichenwald, and here's all these places. Like, here's the choke points. Here's all the side attack areas, and good places for turrets, good places for defense. These things and that. Like, that might be worth talking about as a video on its own. Yeah, it will be worth talking about. How should attack go about it, and how should defense go about it, and how should they be countering each other in these maps? That'll be really good to talk about as far as guides go, because I'm going to keep making guides. I enjoy making guides. What else about Overwatch? I think that's it about Overwatch. All the nerfs happen. Oh, here's something. I want to do another video, which is face cam, like we did with Smancers a long time ago, and that is just talking about balance. I want to do a balance video. Just let's talk about balance. Every hero in the game, how they're balanced right now, with their counters and stuff like that, just how it works out. Try to make it not too long a video, and just see what people think. Just have a conversation on balance, and how everyone feels about balance right now. I think that might be a fun thing to do. Just better knowledge building for everyone, just talking about all the heroes and where they are right now. And by talking about the conversation, we can see what people think the counters to different heroes are, or what works in tandem with them. And just by everyone having the conversation, you are learning about counters. That is the goal of having this kind of video, and I'm going to try to make it in the next 2 weeks if I can. I think the first week I'm just going to play the crap out of Overwatch, spend maybe 2 or 3 hours on every single hero. That's, what is it, 23 heroes? Or is it 22 heroes? Times 3, it's 66 hours of hero play. I'm going to try to do that. Probably just, I'm going to try to do 2 hours at least then, because that's a lot of hours. So that's 44 hours of hero play for a week, and then we can have a conversation, because that's 2 hours of playing each hero means that's a lot of just seeing how they work out with the heroes, so it gives you a good idea. So I'm going to do that, and then have the video, and I should have some good understanding of what works here and there and what I feel should be done. And then you guys can talk about what you think should be done, and we can do a follow-up video and so on and so forth. I think it could work out pretty well. Let's see here. Anything else Overwatchy or just channel-y? Deus Ex has started. Deus Ex is very fun. Now, the way I'm going to do Deus Ex, I don't know. Deus Ex is a thing because it's very open-worldy. So there's a lot of, like, Fallout 4 kind of stuff where side quest, so many side quests to do, so many things to explore and to loot. Like, you don't rob anybody in Deus Ex. You could just go to your missions. I rob everyone. I make Adam Jensen now the best person. He robs everybody when I play him. He does every quest when I play him. And the way I play him is, in my opinion, this comes from martial arts. If you have the ability to kill a man, you have no reason to have a thin skin about things. You have no reason to actually kill the person. Now, this is the thing for martial arts, which is you learn self-defense. You learn the ability to kill people, pretty much. Karate's a lot about self-defense. You learn to break people. And you have that ability so that you don't have to use it. The idea is, because you know you can destroy your opponent, your stance with them will be one where you're kind of friendlier to them, and you don't antagonize your person, the person who's trying to come at you. You don't antagonize them, which is, I can't remember which martial art it is Aikido, I think, which is all about defend yourself in the conversation before you defend yourself in combat kind of thing. I think it's Aikido. The idea is you talk to the person who's being aggressive with you to convince them not to fight you. Because if they fight you, they are going to either die or they're going to lose a limb or two. Like, that's how it works. That's the entire idea about a lot of self-defense martial arts, which is talk them out of it, and if you can't talk them out of it, well, you failed on that, and now you're going to break them. That's kind of the thing that happens there. And so Adam Jensen is basically like the ultimate augment. Like, he has all these powers and everything. So the way I run Adam Jensen is I stealth through as best I can. If I fail that, I knock out my targets. If I fail that, everyone dies. So it's essentially how I do Hitman, I guess. That's pretty much. Both are Square Enix games. Like, that's how I do Hitman too. It's sneak around, knock people out, and kill when things go south. And so that's the same way I do Adam Jensen as well. And Adam Jensen just has so many more toys to do with it. Turing Test is out. Turing Test is amazing. Turing Test is like Talos Principle in narrative, and a little bit of narrative devices from Portal, but it's more like Portal in the way the tests work out. Like, they're not too hard, they're not too easy, they take some time to do. We completed all of them. Like, if you really take the time on just to pay attention to how long I spent on the tests, and not the extra just reading material, we probably spent maybe 3-4 hours clearing the puzzles in that game. Some people say they took like 12 hours, and that means you just got stumped on one or two. I only got stumped one or twice. You'll see it in the videos. We did the super smart puzzles. I'm really proud of how well I did the Turing Test. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in there, a lot of theory, a lot of things with robotics and things in there, or just what makes a thing with AI and all these stuff. Very interesting conversation there, and it's worth watching all the way through for all these, just for the interesting puzzles and the narrative and the story, and then what we think about it. I'm really interested in seeing what people think about the story from the Turing Test, because near the end, oh my god, it gets a bit crazy. It definitely gets crazy there. I'm really curious about people's opinions there. And besides that, we got the FF every Sunday. It's going to be one a week now. Jinx is going back to school. I'm back in school. So we're going to slowly have a little less content, but we're going to have more special projects. Like, the unboxings are special projects, pretty much. We have other special ideas we want to do as well, so that'll happen. And you're going to see just more special projects and still a good balance of LP anyway. So it's just an interesting balancing act there. Because previously, of course, it's been a lot of... just been a crap ton of LP, one guide a week, and then some like very rare special projects. We're going to try to do more special projects while having less LP. So that's the idea, trying to make a balance of both. There's channels that do nothing but LP, there's channels that do nothing but special projects, and we're trying to do both because we enjoy both. That's just how we are. We like doing a lot of things. So that's how it's going to be. So Jinx wants me to just have a 50-minute vlog. So how am I going to do that? So... talking about a topic, I have a topic. I always talk about something at the end of these things. And, every week there's just something worth talking about. And probably what's worth talking about, which is not even the best subject people want to talk about, is probably the Stanford Rapist. That is not a good situation. So if you didn't know, dude gets drunk, girl gets drunk, everyone's drunk. The dude rapes a girl behind a dumpster 3 months ago, and he's this like really good swimmer at Stanford. He's, of course, it's a white kid, and he gets caught. He gets sentenced. He goes to court, which is extremely rare. You rarely see. Okay, a lot of rarities happen here. You rarely have the woman say she gets raped. You rarely have someone going to court over it. You rarely, especially an athlete, you rarely have them going to jail. He got sentenced 6 months of jail for rape, for raping a woman. 6 months. He got out after 3 months for good behavior. The judge said if he gave him more than 6 months of jail time, it would impact his future. If this white athlete was any other color, he would have a lot more jail time. If he wasn't an athlete, he'd have a lot more jail time. Because I'm not even just saying just not white. Like, if you're a poor person and you rape someone, obviously you're going to jail for a very long time. A very long time. And if you're a minority, a lot longer. But because it is, what was it, the holding affluent, white, sports person, all that crap, 6 months. Down to 3 months. So that's great. In that time, Stanford's like, okay, here's a website. Here's information for the ladies, specifically the ladies. Hey, if you can't drink as much as men do. We're not allowing hard alcohol at our parties here now. Just less alcohol. There you go. And women, just be careful when you get intoxicated. Don't get too intoxicated so you don't get raped. Nothing in there about, hey guys, don't rape the women. There's nothing in there. Nothing about that. No, it's all on the woman. It's not on the guy at all. What the hell is that? We have a problem, which I don't know if it's just an American thing. It might be more just a human thing, of victim blaming. We do a lot of victim blaming. And we have this whole culture of being against the person who speaks out. We have whistleblowers, but despite the whistleblowers, they get slapped the hell down all the time. Forget, like, the most popular one is Edward Snowden, of course, but there's a lot of whistleblowers that they try to blow the whistle, they try to do it legally. The reason why Edward Snowden did things the way he did it is because there were people who whistle blew legally, and nothing happened, and they even got in trouble. Like, they even got put in jail for trying to whistle blow, which is not good, because we're supposed to have laws against hurting whistleblowers. And yet this happens. So Edward Snowden happened because he could not do it legally, because it wasn't allowed before him. And so that's not good. So we have this thing where we just blame people. Like, what? Snitches get stitches. Come on, like, whistleblowers. People who call on crimes. Like, they get in trouble. We have a shitty mindset on that. Like, rapes get rarely, rarely reported. Because all the victim blaming, and then having to prove it, and then people just having all these insidious thoughts on why the person is saying they got raped. Like, victims of rape rarely get believed. It is really freaking awful. It's a terrible thing. Colleges report low statistics of rape, but that's a fucking lie. That is a terrible thing. A lot of bad things happen. It's really, as someone who went to college, there's always, you know those stories. You hear those times when those things happen and nothing happened about it. The only good news out of the whole Stanford rapist thing is the fact that he went to jail. This is extremely rare. It never happens. This is the start of hopefully something better where it happens more often, that rapists get caught and they go to jail, and maybe hopefully it gets worse for the rapists, because you don't fucking rape, people. How about that? You don't rape. That's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. Obviously it's a bad thing to commit rape. That's terrible. And this whole conversation goes in so many different directions. It's talking about, just like I was saying, victim blaming, double standards against women you can go over, although you can also argue that men, when they get raped, horrible things get accused at them as well. Like, what was that one story? It was a while back. Dude gets raped, he reports it, and everyone just gave him shit. He was the butt of so many jokes. People were saying, like, why didn't he enjoy it? I bet he enjoyed it. It's like stuff like that. It's like, are you kidding me? The dude got forced on. If you don't want it, you don't want it. Like, that's rape. Just, no, that's awful. That's terrible. That's messed up. Rape ain't okay. Like, why do I even have to say that? Rape ain't okay. The fact we joke about it. The fact we make the jokes like, oh, they got raped. Like, in gameplays, like, get raped. and stuff like that, or we got raped. Like, it's not funny. It's not funny. And it is mostly a maturity thing. I was gonna say, you think, but it's maturity thing, because there's even 30-year-olds who will be like, it doesn't matter, it's just words. Words matter. Words are important. As someone who enjoys writing, words are extremely important. Have you ever listened to a speech that affected you? Have you ever just felt like shit when your parents talk shit at you? Tell me, anyone here, has your parents ever said, just called you some really awful things, and tell me you didn't feel like shit about it? Tell me someone in society didn't say something about your image, just how you look, and you didn't feel shit about it. Those are words. Words are important. Words affect us. The only people unaffected by words are dead, because they're dead. I remember having this conversation with a guy who was like, he hates it when someone says get wrecked more than get raped. I'm like, that is a problem. That is a problem. And it is a maturity thing. It really is. The realization that words do matter, that words do hurt, and that by normalizing the word rape, that is actually horrible as shit. And you don't always realize that when you're younger, obviously. Obviously, holy shit, yeah, obviously. Like, there are things we do when we're younger that is just really shitty, that we don't realize is really shitty till we get older. And some of us don't ever realize what we do is really shitty. That's just how it is. I'm sure there's something I do that's shitty that I don't realize it's shitty. But there you go. And this is not like, and none of these freaking groups, like, I don't know, I hate groups of things because there's always the radical idiots, or just the movement itself is stupid. I hate the SJW label. I hate the feminist label, or the feminazis and all that crap, and the fedoras and all that. That's all stupid. That's all stupidly stupid. There is no war on men. There isn't. Not at all. And not even a war on white men, or straight white men. There are some fucked up people on both sides of that. There are people in just say the gay movement or the LGBT, all those letters movement. There's people in there who just treat the straight person like shit, and it's very awful. And those people suck. Those people are awful. They suck. Fuck those people. But there's people, of course, who are just straight white. They're just shitty to other people. Like, and that's the normal thing. Like, the old white guy who's just shitty to LGBT people. Like, that's just a normal thing we see. And some people have normalized that. But then we have the blowback of just people in LGBT just treating people like shit because they're straight, which is not right either. It's not right either. Fuck's sakes. No, of course not. Black people hating white people because they're white. White people hating black people because they're black. Minorities hating this, hating that. Just not okay. It's never okay. And then you got the same thing with males and females. A feminist that is extremely mean to men just because they're men is not a feminist. Fuck you. You're not a feminist. You're just an asshole using some sort of thing to push your being an asshole. That's really all it is. That's all it is. Men are not being attacked in a way that it actually really matters. It's really shitty that there are some women or even men on the feminist side who treat men like shit just because of whatever thing. But I think I didn't word any of that correctly. Stop treating each other like shit. That's what I mean. I think that's the whole thing about it. There are bad people on both sides. There's always bad people on both sides. There are people who use a thing to allow them to be a shitty person. We see that all the time. It sucks. It is terrible. And it's up to us to recognize that. That's really what it is. And goddamn, my nose is itchy as hell. That's really what I'm going for here, is stop being shit to each other. I think that's what it always is, isn't it? It's always, let's stop being shit to each other. I think that's what it always is. Because why should we be shit to each other? You know, we don't live forever. You know, how many of us actually have good lives? How many of us just have shitty lives? And how often is it people projecting their shitty lives at other people so they can make them feel like shit to feel better about themselves? You don't need to make another person feel like shit to feel better about yourself. Some of you saw the video, the birthday video, how I feel like shit about my life, how much I hate some of the things in my life, how much I feel like I'm just a worthless human being. I don't take any of that negativity and push it on others. Because you shouldn't. I'm having a bad day does not mean I should make you have a bad day. That's what I'm saying. That is never okay. It's never okay to ruin someone else's day just because yours was ruined. And see, If you ever saw this, it'd look hilarious, but it'd also be effed up. Say a kid dropped their ice cream cone. It's like, oh, that sucks. And then the kid walked over and slapped down some other kid's ice cream cone. That'd look hilarious, but it'd also be fucked up. Like, that's kind of, that's what I'm saying here is just because something went wrong for you doesn't mean make it wrong for someone else. And people will use so many different ways to do it. It's quite insidious. It's quite effed up. And they don't even realize it sometimes. Sometimes they think they're the hero. And in books, in movies, and games, and all that stuff, it's very interesting to see a villain who thinks they're the hero. In real life, it's fucking horrifying. It is freaking horrifying. And one last one is just the example of that one girl, that one feminist chick, SJW, which those are the labels she gave herself pretty much. How there was a taxi driver for Lyft, and he's just driving. He's got a hula dancer on his dashboard, and she's just giving him shit for having a hula dancer. She's giving him so much shit for it, and she's recording the whole thing. Even the people with her are calling around, like, being a pretty shitty person about this. And she says no, she's going to put it on Gawker. Rest in peace, Gawker. And he's like, everyone's going to know he's shit. And then apparently the guy got fired from from Lyft because of her and all this shit. And she was being a shitty person who thinks she's the hero. And it's messed up. It's pretty messed up, the shitty things people do when they think they're the good guy. We can take it back to Deus Ex. We're playing the hero, but we can be a really shitty person with him as well. Same thing goes for Fallout. You can be a really shitty person and still do the right thing at the end. Leave being an asshole to games, I guess? Alright, so there we go. That right there is the vlog. You only went a little over 15 jinx. Jesus. That's the vlog. If you didn't notice in the background, Chopper Kirby. Yeah, geez, setting up all those stuffed animals is a pain in the ass because they fall over very easily, I swear. I can't believe they stick together when the streams and the boxings happen. They just tumble the hell over. So that's the vlog right there. So this is going to be different. I figure why not practice face camming stuff. I think one of the problems was my nose was itchy, so I was scratching it quite a few times during this, so that doesn't help. That don't help presence on the camera. So there's definitely things I can do better on that one, and of course, we're still evaluating how I can do better on the unboxings. I feel like we obviously are going to do better since the first one, because obviously there were things I learned from there, and we're going to keep improving on that one, and just get better. The idea is to get better in literally everything. We want to be just be really good and total package, and someday we will either explode or just be moderately good, and people just enjoy our stuff. I don't know. The goal is to explode the hell up, hit the top, you know? But will we get there? Will we enjoy our way trying to do that? Yeah, of course we will. If we're not having fun doing this, why even do it? That's why I quit Smite. So there you go. That right there is the vlog. I had fun talking at you. Hope you had fun listening. Oh, I didn't show the shirt. I'm excited for whatever. So there you go. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.